You can see it here, but we'll have great presentation from use cases, a demonstration of our Visions Trust tool, and then the Cloud to Space for AI initiative and how to federate existing ecosystem together to, as quickly as possible, get to critical mass and unite the different ecosystems with presentation from our first partners. We'll then talk a bit about the next steps, the conclusion, and we'll have normally some time for the Q&A. So I think, as most of us know, but today, to build the AI innovations, the AI agents, we need access to data, we need access to cloud services, we need access to AI services, and often these are fragmented across a lot of different solution providers, and it takes a lot of time to integrate them, to negotiate their access. And we can't afford this time, in a sense. The future of each domain is going to be an AI agent that accesses a lot of different data sets, makes some analysis from that analysis, executes an action, buy some stock, recommend a diagnosis, send some medical help, and so on. So if during that time we are still negotiating access to the right data, there won't be a lot of European players left. So we need to make that much more interconnected and much more automatic. And this fragmentation is there for different reasons. There are no shared standards. There is a lot of legal time and a lot of long integrations. So what we need to move towards is a federation of the ecosystems that already exist. We have data spaces that are being set up that connect some players. We have cloud providers that also have their own marketplaces, have their own services that need to be connected. We have AI providers that provide services and different data marketplaces that exist and that also connect a bunch of different data. If you want to deploy your project today, what you need is to easily be able to select the right AI service you want, select the right cloud service you want, and then connect that to the right data. And we need to break the silos between these different technological ecosystems, between these different services, to be able to create the innovation we need. And that's what we're going to talk about today is, first, what kind of innovation across different sectors are being deployed, also thanks to our technology, Visions Trust, how it combines different data, different AI providers, and then how do we enable that more technologically with a demo of our tool, and also how do we connect to existing cloud provider services, data marketplaces, AI providers to make it happen and federate this big picture. So we'll have first a dive into 4 data space use cases, combining AI, data, and cloud, from EdTech in the education sector, from the legal data space in the legal sector, from IFP in the media and education sector, and from Fireware in the smart cities sector. So I pass the floor to Mathieu Massé from EdTech. You can introduce yourself and talk a bit about the use case and your demo.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hi, everybody. I'm Mathieu. I'm CPTO of EdTech, co-founder of the company. We aim to provide a software that can enable anyone to produce training content powered by AI. And it means not replace people to create learning, but give the capability to everyone to create learning for expert subject matters, instructional designer, and so on. In our case, we we share our vision, and we give our solution to companies with corporate learning, with really sensitive data. And it means that we cannot give them the most powerful tool if we cannot ensure the security and the exchange between our platform and other softwares. We cannot provide everything for the learning. It has no sense. So that's the goal of the data space for us. We aim to connect to all educational tools through the data space, so we can all share the data and improve the experience. Here, our use case is to provide an AI-assisted learning object creation and skills mapping for everyone. The goal was to be able to create learning content directly from the syllabus. In fact, is the definition of the need. Then to map skills with a skill framework, reuse the existing learning object existing in the company or publicly available, so we can easily and quickly create new learning material. So the impact is straight to the point. We streamline the creation of educational material. So within few minutes, you have qualitative learning content creation. You can ensure a comprehensive and aligned generation based on your competency management, your skills framework, and then you can enhance the whole efficiency of your learning department. And all of these improve the overall quality and relevance of the training proposed by the company, by the university, by any organization. So the idea of the demonstration you will see just here is a 2-minute capture of the flow where we upload a course syllabus. The course syllabus is just the definition of the need with the skills, and then we extract all informations that are relevant for the course creation. We map all the skills with the skills framework chosen by the user. Here, in our case, will be the ESCO skills framework. And then we generate the complete learning content. And you will see in the demonstration where the data space appears. So I think it's next slide where you have the video. Yeah.
You have the video yourself, Mathieu, because on the link it doesn't seem
it's
to
on
click.
your drive, so normally.
So I have the video, it's opening. Can you open up the video yourself, Mathieu?
Let me get it.
And share your screen.
Yeah, I'm just downloading it here. Yes. Okay, I have it right now. So here we have the platform where we will import directly the course syllabus. So We select the syllabus. It's a PDF or docx file. And then the course syllabus is ingested by the system. We export everything through the AI agents. We extract the skills we plan. And there is a skills processing. Here we exchange through the data space with the skills framework. Here is Ainokufu, the partners. We have the complete extraction of the course goals and the needs. And we have a mapping directly with the skills referential of the company, or here it's ESCO. So it can be totally aligned with your skills needs, your internal needs, and learning personas. To create learning plan based on that, so to access and give the best course possible to enrich the content. And then there is the course creation. The role generation goes to our AI agents to produce the content, then go back to the data space connector to find relevant learning content already existing. And we inject this already existing content inside this learning content. So this way, it's not the time to waste money and energy to create new learning material. We create what you need, and we reuse, recycle what is already existing and what can be already reused in your learning here. So the complete framework using the data space.
Thanks a lot, Mathieu. It shows very well how the data space can help to connect these AI agents to the relevant data and create new innovations. And it's one use case we're launching in the context of the skills data space. And now, so if you have questions, we'll have some time at the end, of course, but if you have questions, please feel free to put it in the chat, and the speakers can also answer them through that means. And now I pass the floor to Chandra from Fireware on the smart cities data space.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Nice to meet you all. Thanks, Matthias, and thanks also, Matteo, for the presentation. So it's good. I just want to run briefly to the smart city data spaces, which the pilots are running. At this stage is Szeged and Timisoara data spaces together. It's a Szeged city from Hungary and Timisoara from Romania. They are working together on creating the predictive traffic management and the sustainability mobility planning with the zero pollution action. So they are collecting a lot of data from different traffic mobility platforms and trying to exchange the data between these two countries to the data spaces activity. The other one is very important is Norway, between Norway, Ireland, Spain, and Spain, three countries. They are trying to it's called a Geo for Water, to smart water monitoring and the response to the extreme weathers. This is also going. They are exchanging the data on this, and they're even having a different algorithms exchanged so that how they can have the prediction on this. And this is all happening to the data spaces. And yeah, Matthias, anything? Okay, yeah. So, and then to the next slide. Can we go to the next slide? Yeah. So, and the Fireware and Prometheus is building a interoperable data space stack. So This is not the era of fragmentation, so we all should understand that we should build together technology which is aligned. I do understand, and we all do agree that innovation happens when it is happening at this level. There will be a lot of micro innovations happening at the different platforms at different places. But it is also important to see and keep in mind the bigger picture about building an interoperable data spaces. It is important to have this in mind even before designing the data spaces. So Prometheus X and Fiverr basically a community came together. We understood the importance of reducing the fragmentation in this sector, and we said that we are actually combine the strengths of both communities and build a truly an interoperable data space stack between these two. So Fiverr is contributing the context management of the data layer side on the smart data models for semantic interoperability. And Fiverr also launched the international commons, which is extending the governance for the for various may not be Fiverr related projects. So we are working together with many organizations and projects to have these international commons and extend our governance, which has been working for 15 years on the community side. And Prometheus X is contributing the privacy preserving data governance, which is very important when we are talking about this data. Data usage policies, consent management, and the cross-sector trust models. Focus on health, education, and other data-sensitive domains. So this is together with Prometheus X. Prometheus X is contributing this, and then the integration of the TM Forum marketplace is happening also with this data stake, which is the it enables the trusted service discovery, contract management, and commercial data transactions. Extends interoperability for a pure data exchange and service marketplaces. So, and the Prometheus X and Fiverr are more or less Fiverr data space connector actually has more or less a similar philosophy, similar thinking on this, and that's where we basically came together. And it was the work actually is going on in creating the federated combined stack together. What is the outcome would be the truly scalable, interoperable, and open vendor-neutral data space stack, ready for EU data spaces and also global DPI initiatives and industry adoption worldwide. And I think we should also think about Fiverr has a very strong interest in the global side. We see other use cases evolving on the global direction, which would need the data spaces technology or the data spaces thinking. So I think it is important for us also to think that in mind. So this is the direction we are going. Thank you for that. That's all my 2 slides.
Thanks, Chandra. Of course, we are. Thanks, Chandra. Thanks a lot. We are very happy to collaborate on these smart cities aspects and to collaborate on creating this common stack. And we can show now that also can be different stacks and different sectors collaborating together to build this innovation. Next, a very interesting innovation is for the legal data space. And Martin, I pass you the floor, and I'm going to share the presentation.
Hi, everyone. Very happy to be there with you today. Thank you, Matthias and Vision, for organizing this webinar. Today, I'd like to introduce the legal data space, which is a major project in the legal market led by the association Droit.org, Thomas Saint-Aubin, and myself. The legal data space aims to share, enrich, and standardize legal data with AI agents in full compliance and confidentiality. What are our goals? We want to share, enrich, and standardize legal data with AI agents. We are an AI native data space, and maybe it's one of our specificity. For this objective, we gather all the legal ecosystem around the LDS infrastructure and incentive the contributors from the community. Law and legal actions are a kind of common good and therefore needs either a very strong public action or an ecosystemic implication to go forward. As the legal market is atomized with plenty of data sources and plenty of user companies, the best operational way to link all this data and then operate compliant AI agents is obviously a data space. Our use case is the AI corporate agent. As you may know, companies have the obligation each year to write down some legal documentation based on their financial results or shareholders' decisions. It's a lot of work for very little value, except in some cases. Therefore, a corporate AI agent is a need, a very strong need for legal counsel, for lawyers, for accountant companies, and so on. The difficulty today is to deal with the great diversity of data sources and endpoints. By combining these sources, which are public, open data, internal private, external private, etc., thanks to the data space, it's now possible to build this AI corporate agent. And we will present, in fact, a live demo for this agent, but the 3rd of July. I cannot do this today in very precise ways. The actual cost of the corporate obligations is around 600 euros per company per year in France. So it's something like 1 million company that have the obligation to spend this money. It means a 600 million euro market just for one legal agent. So you can imagine the potential of this AI legal market, which is for the moment estimated at 6 billion a year. We add a small paragraph for the data space community. We think that we have maybe some useful expertise or bridge to share with you. For example, we set a reward for every contributor of the community through security tokens. There are incentives via some shares of the company when they work and share value on legal data, nomology, or data structuration, for example. It's a very good way to onboard every member of our very large legal community. On its part, the data market, which is, as an economist, I can say it, a real market, will use legal tokens to operate and regulate the exchanges. This kind of machine money is a unique tool for us to share the data value. So it's kind of data tokenomics. And this expertise, we think that every data space has some, and we would be very happy to collaborate on that. On a more technological way, we think that the data contract management bridge that we are developing with Vision, with Prometheus X, and with other leading companies like Sopra, Temisys, etc., could be very useful also to every data spaces. That's it for our presentation. Was very happy to share it with you, and please contact me or us through LinkedIn to share our views and collaborate on this project. Bye-bye.
Thanks very much, Martin. And on this last point, yes, I think that it's, first of all, it's a great use case, but on the data contract management part, it is a need for each data space, and the whole value of the data space is indeed to automate as much as possible legal aspects. So to have the great community of the legal data space and all the judicial experts, lawyers working on this and how to automate it, I think will be very relevant for all data spaces, and to guarantee the right level of protections and licensing on the data. Thank you, Martin. And last of this series of use case, but not least, from AFP with Carole.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Happy to be here with you in this webinar. And so I'm a journalist and a project manager for European media. I am working for AFP. AFP is a French international news agency. And since 2017, AFP has become a global leader in digital verification with a worldwide fact-checking network working in 26 languages and with 150 journalists around the world. So now I'm going to provide you with an overview of two projects of data spaces in which AFP is involved, namely TAM, which is the European Audio Data Space, and TEMS, the Trusted European Media Data Space. So let's start with the European Audio Data Space, which has evolved into TAM. That means the audio marketplace. So this initiative, backed by the European Commission, aims to transform how audio content is exchanged, monetized, and shared across Europe. It's a digital space designed to connect podcasters, media organization, and audio producers, creating a secure and ethical marketplace for trading high quality audio content. Among the partners in this project, you'll find Europod, a European podcast agency specializing in news, as well as the Spanish news agency EFE. In September, the audio marketplace will launch publicly its platform of connection. So now let's talk about the media data space, TEMS. TEMS, as Trusted European Media Data Space, is a major cross-border initiative co-funded also by the European Commission. The goal of this 3-year project is to build and operate a data space tailored to the media's industry needs. The project kicked off in October 23 and will run until end of 2026. The project brings together more than 40 organizations from 12 countries, including broadcasters, news agency, publishers, audio-visual archives, innovation hubs, and standardization bodies. They're joined by tech partners with strong expertise in data space architectures, such as Orange, who is present today. TEMS is built around 8 use cases covering key media challenges such as 3D content sharing to privacy-friendly personalized advertising, smarter production workflows, trend analysis, and content syndication. And among them, AFP led a use case focused on creating a shared space for fact checks and news products. So now we're still in the early stages of the use case, so I can't get into too much technical details so far, but here is how we envision it. So the first step is to connect the EDMO fact check repository to the TEMS data space. So it's a bit abstract, but for your understanding, EDMO stands for European Digital Media Observatory. It's a European Commission-funded initiative, again, that brings together fact checkers, journalists, researchers, and media experts to monitor and fight disinformation. And today, EDMO operates through a strong network of 14 regional and national hubs across Europe. One of the EDMO key achievement is a fact-check repository regularly updated by multiple European newsrooms such as AFP, but also the news agency DPA in Germany, its peer in Austria, APA, and other trusted news organization. And what we will do during the second half of this year is connecting this repository to the data space TEMS to make fact-checked content easier to find and reuse. And the broader goal of this use case is to give greater visibility to European fact-checkers and also to break silos between them. But also it's about to experiment with new sources of revenue. For example, through monetizing verified data sets for tech and AI companies that want to build trustworthy AI-powered tools based on certified sources. So in a nutshell, TEM's use case promotes reliable information while also defending fair copyright protection and proper remuneration for the journalist and the media outlets that are behind this content. So now, how does this relates to the DS4 skills? Thanks to the support of Visions and Mathias de Bièvre, we are beginning to explore connections between TEMS, specifically our fact check and news exchange use case, and DS4 skills, the education and skill data space, where Visions is a partner. And TEMS brings together major players from the news sector, including DPA and APA, the National News Agency of Germany and Austria, France Télévisions and VRT, the French and Flemish broadcaster, EBU, which is the world's largest alliance of public services media, and OneIFRA, the leading global organization for news publisher. And we see very natural link between TEMS, TAM, and the DS4 skills. News and education share a common mission, fighting disinformation and helping people navigate the digital world with trusted, verifiable content, and also, and it's very important, critical thinking tools. And on the technical side, this kind of collaboration can also serve a real-world example of interoperability between data spaces, which is a key pillar of the EU data strategy and contributes to its long-term resilience. And last but not least, we believe that connecting these data spaces could open up new sustainable revenue opportunities by co-creating meaningful, ethical data products and services. So to wrap up, we believe that this collaboration could have a strong and tangible impact. First, by showing that innovation can scale across sectors and formats. And second, by enabling smarter and more engaging learning experiences, such as, for instance, chatbots for verified news, or transforming text-based fact-check into video through the help of AI, or creating media literacy training modules for teachers or for students also. And finally, by making this connection between trusted journalism and education concrete and impactful. So we want to showcase what happens when trusted content, critical thinking, and tech comes together in a meaningful way. So that's all for me. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks a lot, Carol. I think it's a great step for data spaces. I believe it's one of the first of really cross-sectoral data space initiatives and use cases, and it really shows the power of data spaces, because in the end, it's one common network, so we'll be able to tackle some very interesting challenges, and of course, it's very exciting, this kind of innovations. So thank you very much, Carol. Thank you to all the speakers on the use cases. I believe it shows really the variety in different sectors of innovations that can happen and that are possible thanks to data space solutions and thanks to a better access to protected data. And of course, we're very happy to support this with our technology, Visions Trust, that is used to enable this kind of exchanges. So to discover, catalog data, to contract data, to manage this kind of use cases. And we're happy today to showcase a new functionality we have called the service chain creation, because in all of these use cases that we've seen, it's not a use case of going from data going from A to B. It's a use case of data coming from A, going to B, being modified, going to C to add some data, then back to A, and it's this kind of complex sequences that we need to be able to enable if we want to really operate this kind of innovations. And so I'm happy today that the team has worked a lot, and we have made it also open sourced under the Prometheus X association to showcase how the service chain protocol and an editor can work. So if we take a look at the demonstration, we have our Vision Trust tools that allow some marketplace functionalities. So here it's for the skills and education data space catalog, but you can find, of course, a catalog of all the available offers in the data space. You can filter them if you're looking, for instance, for data about learning traces. This is specific to the skills sector, of course, or tools about learning analytics. You can find such tools. You can, for each tool, of course, check a bit more in-depth description. I have some internet issues. Yes, you can see a bit more on the kind of data, the pricing, and so on. You can find this kind of data, this kind of services. You can find also that are a bit what we call infrastructure offers. So these are not really sector specific, but they come and complement the kind of the use case. So it's going to be offers about anonymizing data or cloud services to operate AI services. So, for instance, Alain will present it, but generative AI services, anonymization services, and so on that you can include into your project, in a sense. And through the data space and through the platform, you can select these different offers, send them invitations, and in a sense, contract with them. So here, I'm going to switch to how it looks inside the app. And this is still, just an example and a test use case, but the different use case we've seen allow to use that to put it into place. Once you find a tool that you want to use, you can invite them to your use case, and you'll be able to send them an invitation, negotiate the pricing, and so on. Once this negotiation has happened, and this is what we want to show with the service chain, you can find inside your project the different, in a sense, partners and participants and offers you have contracted with. You can find the contract, and for each participant, what they provide. So here we're in a use case of a service that will anonymize data to enable data on learning traces, to enable that it is that AIs can then be trained on it. So you have different data providers, you have the anonymization service, you have the AI model service, and so on. Those you have found through the catalog, and you can contract with them. And then, thanks to the service chain functionality, which we deem essential to make these innovations work, you can create such chains where you can easily find the different offers of data, services, of infrastructure you have in your contracts, and you can define the sequence data will be shared and processed inside your use case, inside your project. So for instance, here we have data coming from these two providers going through the infrastructure anonymization service, and the output of this anonymized data is then inputted in this AI model training, and then others can come and train their models on this anonymized data. And what's interesting is that these providers furnish the raw data. They decide which conditions of pricing and so on. There is the anonymization service that augments the data and makes it ready and possible to, in a sense, train models on top of it. And it's quite easy to design those chains. So if I delete one partner, I can easily take this offer I have and then create this kind of sequences. And from that, then through the platform and through the connectors, without going into too much technical detail, but thanks to this chain, once you save it, this sequence is then automatically respected. And this is valuable for, let's say, the use case leader that wants to design their chain in a specific sequence, but it's also valuable for each of the providers that don't have to do a specific integration of each on each project in each sequence. They just integrate once with the data space, and then thanks to this solution, they can be chained in different manners according to the different needs. So we're very happy that this is now in place, starting to be used by various use cases as the ones we saw to design it. EdTech, as we saw, have already used it to build their chains for their AI agents, and happy to welcome more on this usage. So this is, in a sense, the tool that is used across the use cases we've seen, that can also federate with others, other data spaces, and that can allow you to combine data, cloud, AI services together. But now it's how do we make this connection with the AI data and cloud services that are out there. And that is the Cloud to Space for AI initiatives, where we unite these different providers to come together. And the goal is not to impose, in a sense, visions as the only way to connect, but to enable a federation across the different players. So here is an image that shows the overall vision. We have visions here that connects a bunch of data and services, for instance, in the skills data space, but we can have a data marketplace solution, as we'll see with Open Datasoft, that also connects different data. And what we want is that a user that uses Open Datasoft in this marketplace can access, contract, combine data that is connected through visions, and vice versa. We can have the same with AI providers like Playas, that is going to present next. They connect, they can then be used across this wide, in a sense, ecosystem of ecosystems, but also their own clients using the Playas solution can access and contract with data that comes from others. And of course, there can be other data spaces, as we saw with TEMS, that are not based on visions, that are based on other technologies, but that can also connect. And thus we create a technical alliance where we can combine the data and the services to each, in a sense, provider and ecosystem. But we also create a business alliance, because each client of each data space, of each marketplace, can be a client of another one. And a user here can be interested in a provider here, a user here in a provider here. And so we can together create enough critical mass to first have enough data and services connected to answer all needs, and also have enough traction to sustain this and make, in a sense, a bigger pie thanks to our alliance. And that's the whole point of this, in a sense, project and initiative of Cloud to Space for AI. And again, it's not that there is one entry point that is visions. Any of these nodes can be an entry point to the wider ecosystem, and that's how we create something decentralized and sustainable. And so now I'm very happy to pass the floor to several of the first partners involved that provide other marketplaces, AI solutions, cloud infrastructures that come and connect their services to this ecosystem, but also become themselves portals to access the system. So I pass now the floor to Jean-Marc for Open Data Soft.
Thank you, Matthias, and hello, everyone. So I'm Jean-Marc Laza, the co-founder and CEO of a French software company called Open Data Soft. And we aim at being a leading data product marketplace solution for companies or public institutions such as central administration and cities. So thank you for this opportunity to talk about the role and value of Open Data Soft in this common initiative, and especially in data sharing spaces. And I'm talking, let's say, based on our experience and learnings of operating over 3,000 portals of marketplace for public or private organization in 25 countries. So more specifically, in this context, I talk about, on one hand, how it supports the creation of a federated access point to qualified and controlled data for, let's say, human beings and also intelligence, artificial intelligence. And on the other hand, how this kind of marketplace enables self-service access to that data, as well it come from external ones or private data. So first point about the federated access point to quality data. Let's say our vision is that in a data space environment, so one of the key challenges is to create a trusted and interoperable access point to data coming from multiple sources. So whether these data are coming from internal systems, external partners, or public and open data. So what we want to do, and being part of this collective initiative, is to address this challenge by enabling any organization to build this federated data access layer. This doesn't mean, of course, to centralize data in one place, but rather connecting and harmonizing and governing data from different origins in a consistent way. So let me give you a concrete example from, for example, the education domain. So imagine that you are building a data space to improve orientation and access to training programs. So you may want to combine, for example, internal data from education providers or local institutions with external open data, such as, for example, in France, the French National Directory of Training Programs, or statistical information about one of you may know Parcoursup on admissions and students' demographics. So with our service, you can ingest these data sets regardless of the original format of sources, standardize them using a common vocabulary and interoperable format so that the data on training programs, for instance, align with standardized skills and job classification, and then enforce usage rights and access control in compliance with the contractual and regulatory framework of the data space. So at the end, the result will be a unified and compliant entry point into the data space, ready to fuel services, dashboards, AI agents, and so on. So that's one part of the service. On the other hand, about the other face of the same coin, a self-service access for human and machines. So the second key contribution we may have with Open Data Soft services is a way to democratize access to this data, whether your data consumer would be a business user or an AI system. So through an intuitive interface and APIs, we allow human users to discover, explore, and reuse data through a self-service portal. So you may experiment Open Data Portal we are operating and have an idea of what it could be, so without needing technical expertise, but also to allow automated systems and, of course, AI agents now to access data in real time with standard APIs, MCP servers, and so on. So this approach should ensure the value of the data space is fully activated. So by making the data not only available, but actually usable and actionable, which is the aim, of course, of sharing data. So as a conclusion, to sum up, I would say that we are trying and will try to play a critical role in establishing data space, in enabling, data space by creating a federated, secure, and interoperable access point to data, whether it comes from internal or external sources, and by enabling self-service access for both people and AI or automatic agents, let's say turning data into something directly usable and actionable. So, of course, while I've illustrated and tried to do that with the education sector, the same approach applies cross-sectorally, but also as effectively in other domains, such as legal, energy, mobility, smart cities, and what you can imagine. So thank you, and of course, happy to answer a question and keep in touch later on after this webinar.
Thank you very much, Jean-Marc. Yes, I think it's very interesting and impressive in a sense. As we saw, we have this marketplace on data, on education and skills. Thanks to this approach, our users could access data that you reference through the skills and education data space, and on the other side, your clients that have this internal portals in the education, in the training sector, can directly in their open data soft portal find the offers coming from the data space. And so they don't need to register in 2, 3, 4 different catalogs to find the right data. And as you said, 3,000 portals that you operate. I think you are in many domains, so this can apply to any of the domains we talked about before. So thank you very much, Jean-Marc. And now to Alain with Orange Business and the different trust and cloud services you provide.
Thank you, Matthias. Happy to be with you. I am the data space project director of Orange Business. So thank you, Matthias. It's okay.
Can you hear Alain?
Hello, can you hear me?
Ouais, je fais enlever. Parle.
Okay, so hello everybody.
Can you hear Alain? Sorry about this mishaps.
Okay, good.
Ça va.
Okay, so so I am the data space project director of Orange Business. So as an IT operator, Orange Business contributes to the needs for a trusted digital environment that facilitates data sharing. Thanks to our experience and participation in many European data space, such as education and skills data space presented by Mathieu from FP, or media data space presented by Carol from FP, thank you. And the very new agricultural data space, UADS, we can provide efficient and proven services. For instance, we have developed our live identity, live identity wallet, already deployed for identification and content services. Orange provide also guarantees of trust on innovation through artificial intelligence in a trusted environment. Orange provides also guarantees of trust on traceability of data sharing and interoperability between different data spaces. And it allows collaboration in a competitive environment. And thanks to our 30,000 Orange services and our employees, we guaranteed onboard security with cyber defense services and data integrity with our trusted cloud. Last but not least, for the left corner of my slide. Orange Business is a founding member and a board member of GaiaX, and all our IT services are compliant with European standards and regulations. So in terms of synergies and mutual contribution between Orange and Vision and Trust, Orange plans to combine various technological components such as Cloud Avenue or Trust Cloud, sovereign data management, and AI services, thanks to our partnership with Lighton, for instance, and live identity wallets, the digital identity solution, and of course, governance. We also aim to accelerate the adoption of Cloud Avenue through the Vision Trust Marketplace. Additionally, we are working together with Vision to co-develop an AI assistant, which is expected to be ready by the end of this year. On the expected benefit for Orange side, this collaboration will help Orange strengthen this offering and stand out by providing access to data and Vision Trust services. It will also allow Orange to expand within the European data space ecosystem and open up new opportunities to connect with business partners across Europe. And to wrap up, behind those commercial advantages, Orange will secure strategic assets to the European data space ecosystem. Meanwhile, Vision Trust will benefit from the support of an industrial partner to help it grow and scale up its operations.
Thank you, Alain. Indeed, great collaborations we have and very relevant services for data spaces and to, in a sense, collaborate on creating these common ecosystems. And now to an AI provider, Playas, with Anastasia.
Yes, hi everyone, very nice to meet you. Sorry, I'm in the car in Gdansk after visiting the digital summit, where all the talk was actually about AI and data spaces together, because actually the need for good quality data to power any kind of AI workflows, starting from this famous retrieval augmented generation that all enterprises kind of seem to want at the moment, up to agentic workflows and more sophisticated AI systems, they all require data transformation and good data quality. And this is basically what we are trying to do at Playas, basically to build large language models, and kind of small actually, because when you have lots of data to work with, to transform, to prepare, you need to think economically. You need rather small models. So we are building small language models to work with complex, unstructured, and semi-structured data. Basically taking all these horrible PDFs that many of you, of course, do have in your organizations, to transform them into machine readable, good markdown text, and also work with semantic data by aligning it and providing, in the end of the day, from the initial corpora, which can be quite messy, which are not aligned, which do contain some, let's say, not very well structured information, into the information which is usable by any kind of downstream model, whether it be an open source one or even a proprietary one. So basically at Playas, we have built our data preparation models from the ground up. And the reason for this is very simple. If you do not know on what data the foundation models have been initially trained, you are actually very big risk of injecting into your AI pipeline, specifically when it comes to working with the documents from the very beginning. You can inject the information which is both harmful, may contain personal data, or basically not aligned with the European legislation, etc. So we have built our foundation models from the ground up using exclusively data with permissive licenses. So as of today, we are the only AI provider in the world to actually be fully conform with the AI Act by basically guaranteeing that no copyrighted data has been used for training our models. And therefore, once you work with our models for data transformation, data preparation, or creation of synthetic data, you yourself is also, well, you are actually free of the legal risk of reproducing copyrighted materials or producing any kind of harmful personal data, etc. So I'll give you an example of a use case that we are currently developing with Vision. We're working with Libraries Without Borders, which is a very nice NGO which operates in multiple African countries. And they wanted to build an AI assistant for health workers in Senegal. So basically, they came to Vision with an open source corpus that they wanted to make available through Vision, but the corpus was in very, very bad shape. Not in bad shape, but actually usual shape. Think PDFs with tables, with organigram, with images. All of this quite difficult to analyze. Also, lots of data, unstructured one, and textual format that we needed to annotate to make it really usable by the assistant. And so the service that we propose through Vision is basically our small language models that run on securized infrastructure, which transform this a little bit chaotic data set into AI-ready, usable corpus that can downstream be used for retrieval augmented generation, which is the first objective of this project with Libraries Without Borders. And after this, we're even thinking about fine-tuning a model in Wolof, because some of the documents are in Wolof. So basically think all of the life cycle of AI systems made possible through extensive data curation, frugally and economically. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Anastasia. And I'm very happy of this partnership and this integration of players in the data spaces and in the marketplace, because the data space, in a sense, find its true usefulness with AI. And thanks to players, we can also concretely connect LLMs and this kind of solutions to data spaces. And so you can find different data offers, connect an AI and an agent on top of it, neutralize the data, or even connect your own, prepare it. And it's a great tool to have in the different projects that we are developing across different sectors. Now, in the same, in a sense, realm of AI providers, we have Linagora, .ai, and Benjamin. I will just cut my mic and pass you the floor.
Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me? Yes? Yeah, good. So I'm Benjamin Bellamy at Linagora. I'm a business developer for AI solutions at Linagora. For those who don't know what Linagora is, it's a French company specialized in the open source. It's been developing open source solution for 25 years, and it's been drawing a third digital way for 25 years, which happens to be quite important in the current geopolitical landscape. So this allows our users and customers to get the digital sovereignty and autonomy, and strategic autonomy. Regarding AI solution, we've been developing speech-to-text solution for over 5 years. We've been developing our own foundation model. You may have heard of Lucy this year, back in January. And the last months, we've been working hard on our RAG system, which happens to be quite interesting when it comes to data space. So what I'm proposing now today is to show you a very short demonstration of what we can do with our RAG system. Matthias, can you go to the next slide and launch the video, please? It's a video, but we recorded it this morning. And otherwise, I'll show it. Okay, so I will share you my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so here we are connected to our own LLM, and I'm asking it what are the benefits from a RAG solution. And this is connected to our RAG, which is connected to our data space, and it is searching. So everything here is not live because I recorded it this morning, but it's real time. So this is how fast it can go. And here we can see problem with outdated solution that it fixes, and it searches within any kind of media. So here it's a video that explains what RAG is about. So now I'm going to switch partition and to go to another data space. And now I'm, let's say, an HR manager, and I want to know what is Laura's job within the company. And the LLM will search within all the resumes that we have inside our data space. And here I can see that Laura is AI developer. Is she assigned to any project now? And now I see that it looks within meeting minutes, and said, yes, she's working on the project Gray among our employees, who is a machine learning engineer. And now I see that the LLM is allowed to synthesize different information from different documents and to show all of them. So now I'm going to switch to another one, which talks about digital sovereignty. And then again, what is Laura's job? And then it is not able to answer, because that's a good thing about RAGs, is that everything within a partition cannot go outside. So it allows secure information. And if I'm asking looks like Matthias is gone as well. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Do you remember when when I got disconnected? Okay, so what is Laura's job? If I'm on the wrong partition, then the model won't answer. How much was invested in AI in the US and in Europe? Then the model will look into a PDF document, and you may see that the answer is actually an image, and it's able, because we have different pipelines for every kind of document, to get an accurate information. And then if I ask what are the justification for digital sovereignties, I can get a whole lot of information from many, many PDF documents. So now that's a good thing, but let's say that I'm on my laptop, I have documents on my laptop, so I am synchronizing them with our Twake workplace, which is a whole bunch of applications that we develop at Linagora. And here I'm asking another question on digital sovereignty. What are the strategies for pursuing digital sovereignties? And here, all the answers are built from the documents that are actually on my laptop and replicated to my workspace. So here I get all this information, and if I go back to my local folder, I will see all the PDF files that were used for by this LLM, allowing a very accurate security for these. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Benjamin. Mute. Unless we're two.
Yeah. I'm stop sharing and muting.
Okay, thank you very much, Benjamin. So yet another very interesting tool, connected data spaces here through Visions Trust and to a wider network to be used in different use cases. And I think that's the whole point of what we're showcasing here, is that we combine the necessary technological tools to enable very innovative use cases. And so last and not least, in this first partners and providers of such technical tools, Clever Cloud as a cloud provider and as also a portal to data spaces with Jean-Baptiste.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jean-Baptiste Pierre Santino, or JB. I work with Clever Cloud. For those who don't know Clever Cloud, we are a cloud service provider. We've been 15 years in the business. We develop services that we offer primarily to developers as a platform as a service offering. This includes runtimes, databases, dashboards, tools to monitor, to manage your infrastructure in a very simple way for developers. We focus on this idea of git push your application, it gets deployed, it automatically scales, it is kept in operational condition without DevOps to worry about. So this whole concept of platform as a service has brought us to a business that is pretty fast expanding across Europe and around the globe. This has been quite of a journey, and maybe a couple of years ago, Matthias and I started to talk about this idea of data spaces. And when I joined Clever Cloud, I thought that there would be something to be done for to provide data space managed services, so tools that will allow developers to tackle easily the complexity of managing data spaces, and particularly connect their applications to data spaces, or allow data spaces to connect to applications. So we, as a cloud service provider, are eager to develop what we call the Managed Data Space Connector add-on, which is a tool that developers will be able to use to deploy an add-on, an interface for their application to either connect to data spaces or receive data or inquiries from data spaces. So this is a one-click turnkey. It is pretty standard. It will come with some opinionated configuration, which obviously developers will be able to manage and configure themselves. It will be designed to be a universal fit. It is also allowing developers to use services in an elastic way. So no need to worry about your infrastructure and how big or small you've sized it initially. It will grow grow and shrink with your audience and with the needs of your application. And again, this will be a git push CI/CD kind of experience for developers to tackle. When I say developers, I don't necessarily talk about application developers or SaaS applications. I obviously talk about enterprise needs to connect to a sovereign cloud that offers public, private, on-prem, and even air-gap services to deploy connectivity. Although air-gap, in the concept of data space, may not be so much useful anyway. As we move forward, and if we put ourselves in the role that Clever Cloud wants to play in the Cloud to Space for AI project, we see ourselves as an integral part of a federated services chains, and we intend to provide as many services as possible again in this package. And I believe there might be things that we can do with Playas, with Linagora, with other members of the consortium to deploy this, particularly also participate in the marketplace so that applications that are made available through Clever Cloud can be made visible and accessible. And I think one of the roles also we want to play here is, as we do say in GaiaX, data don't fly on rainbows. That is, it requires cloud infrastructure. And for that, it probably needs to continue to develop blueprints, Terraform modules, dashboards, things that make the GaiaX recommendation, a truly understandable and actionable model. So this is what we are in. I think for us, it's a strategic move. And we believe that this will be a very exciting times, in the next couple of months or years to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much, JB. And yes, it's been a long time. We've been discussing this in previous also roles of yours, and very happy to have this partnership with Clever Cloud that will allow the data space users to easily deploy their products on the cloud, and also Clever Cloud clients to easily connect to data spaces. And so I think here we've shown that we have, through the different providers, through the different data spaces, marketplaces, already a great, in a sense, scope of data, cloud, and AI products to build any kind of project. And we have also, they're not here presenting today, but we also such partnership with Scaleway that will connect their marketplace, with PontusX, that is a big data space marketplace that will connect also their offers, with Advaneo, that is also a data marketplace. So to enable a wide ecosystem. And if we now look at all the offers across these partners that we have already about 13,000 data service offers of 600 providers. And this is, in a sense, very vague, but it is across any kind of vertical, you will find the right data sets, the right AI services, the right cloud services to support your project. And this is possible by federating, in a sense, the European ecosystem, as we propose to do and as we started doing, because on the other side, you have big hyperscalers that say, okay, I will furnish all of those services in a single integrated way, and that enclose organizations and make them dependent on it. With this vision, you can have the same level of services by combining different providers. It's much more open, and also in the end, it's a model that will allow much more adoption and connection of data than one single marketplace can do. And that's why I'm very excited of this ecosystem that has today united. And a bit of the next steps, and you can take part in it by filling out the form that Elodie will put in the chat. If you describe your service or your product, you for instance, you have a data offering, a service offering, a data marketplace that you like to connect to this, we'll use this AI chatbot that an assistant that Alain was talking about, to match you and show precisely the service, the data that you provide with who else in the ecosystem it can be useful and create this kind of use cases connections. If you have yourself a project where you want to use this kind of data, this kind of services, you will be as well matched. And that's what we'll do in the summer. We'll select 10 best use cases to deploy this. We already have a few that we have shown in the beginning in different sectors. Please apply and join. We are working on a precise business technical white paper, and will in a sense go to market with all this federation in the fall to federate as well our tech, but also all our client bases. And by joining this ecosystem, you can yourself access all of these clients, all of these users, and market your product widely and make sure it's used in a wide ecosystem. So I hope this shows some way of how we can build a sovereign infrastructure in Europe and also build the innovation we need. So we still have some time for some questions. I've answered one in the chat. I don't know if there are others. Please feel free to raise your hand or ask it in the chat. Is cloud to space for AI already considering geospatial data XYZT? In a sense, yes, because the marketplaces we federate for some, including Advaneo, including also Open Datasoft, have this kind of data. So yes, but it's also always welcome for more. So please, Emmanuel, fill in the form. Keep up with work. So I'm reading Esther, yes, please feel free to reach out to Esther, and Esther, please feel free to describe your offering in a sense in the form, so we can also broadcast it across the network. Thanks to you, René. Okay, if there are no other questions, thank you very much. Yes, Chandra.
Matthias, so I just wanted to answer one question. I'm sorry, I'm in a loud area. So that the geospatial data, I could actually forward some information about it. How the geospatial data is very important in the data spaces section. And the contribution is actually coming from Japan. They have found a way to build a compatibility with the NGSILD with the geospatial data, and I'm not sure. I just want to make you aware that the Japanese cabinet for the digital agency has approved, are actually recommending the context broker NGSILD for every data other than the non-personal data. And they wrote a very excellent article and a white paper about how a geospatial data can be mapped to this and how it actually can be used in the data spaces.
Great, thanks, Chandra. I think here we have a great illustration of the power of this network. Emmanuel said, okay, what about geospatial data? I have some. We have also some in different marketplaces connected. Clever Cloud says in the chat, I have a specific technologies to support the hosting of it. And Chandra from Flyware says, I have use cases to use it and potential clients that want to use it. So this is exactly how we see it happening if we combine our business and technological assets, and we'll be able to make it shine and fast. So thank you very much for this example, Emmanuel. And again, we have also the great use cases we showed at the beginning of the webinar on education, on legal, on smart cities, on media and skills. So thank you very much to these leaders and the speakers. Thank you, Mathieu, Chandra, Carole, Martin, and thanks to all of partners and all the speakers again to contribute to this initiative and to show how AI innovation can happen. Thanks everybody also for joining. We'll send the recap and the replay and the form by mail as well. And we wish you a great afternoon. And last but not least, if you're in Paris, we have a cocktail. So you should absolutely join. Let me put in the address here. Here you go. Okay. So it's starting in a bit. We have a lot of great food, great drinks, great people. So feel free to come. Okay. And if you want more information, send me an email or a message. We'll make sure you get here well and ready to celebrate. Again, thanks a lot, everybody, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.